Originally, Cheetahman92 suggested this boss battle, but since his account disappeared, I don't have his request handy. However, another viewer, TheAwesomePandaLPs, suggested it as well. AwesomePandaLPs writes, I have a few dumb boss fight suggestions. Number 2. The first boss from Super Contra 7 on the NES, because it's completely broken and way too hard when compared to the rest of the game. I agree completely. And the funny thing is that for a pirate game, the other boss battles are pretty good. But this first one is fucking dreadful! So anyway, let's get into it. Stupid boss battles. Super Contra 7 for the NES. The first boss. When the battle begins, this boss can be really cheap. How cheap, you might ask? This cheap. These fucking shots just appear out of nowhere and kill you instantly. Jesus Christ! How could anyone avoid this? It's simple. You can't. Unless you happen to be standing in just the right spot. This is so fucking unfair. If I ever found the pirates who made this fucking game, I'd piss on them. As for the boss's design, what the fuck is this? Some kind of killer clam from outer space? None of the other bosses look this stupid. Okay, maybe this guy does too. But he's not as goofy looking as this clam. Looking past the graphical design issues, the biggest problem with this boss battle is that it's glitched to hell. The clam shots will appear out of nowhere and go in every fucking direction. And some will kill you, and some won't. It's like the game's possessed or having some kind of fit. Like this. Or this. I know this is a pirate game, but come on! That's not an excuse. Some pirates are actually well made. This, however, is just really sloppy. Another issue is this thing's hitbox. Sometimes you can flip onto it and not be harmed, while other times you can be. A little consistency, folks. That's all I ask for. The same goes for your shots. Sometimes they miss when they shouldn't, and sometimes they don't. What's really strange, though, are these soldiers running slightly above the ground. And on certain occasions, it's hard to avoid them and the shots from the clam at the same time. You have to be really nimble. Thankfully, the controls are solid. But the glitchiness of this boss battle makes it much more aggravating than it needs to be. Perhaps the oddest thing about this boss battle, though, is the difficulty. If you get the laser, this fight is so easy that it's laughable. A few shots and bam, the clam from hell is finished. So much for the irate gamer's advice to avoid the laser. However, if you don't have the laser, this battle takes for fucking ever. You could be standing there for what seems like hours shooting at this cocksucker and accomplishing nothing. And unless you're really patient, sooner or later you're gonna fuck up and die. In my opinion, this clam is the toughest boss in the whole game. None of the other bosses even come close. As far as I'm concerned, they should have swapped the last boss with the first one. And maybe removed some of these glitches while they were at it. Once you get past that fucking clam, the game does improve. There are still glitches and oddities, but they're far more bearable than this one. So in conclusion, I will say this about the boss battle. If somebody tweaked it and got rid of all the glitches, it could be a decent fight. Though I seriously doubt that anyone's going to take the time to work on a pirate game. Then again, who knows? This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. If I ever found the pirates who made this fucking game, I'd piss on them.